Just want to talk about Hack/Suicide Girls Annual. Now, Pete, you spent all weekend hanging out with Tim Seeley. How'd that go?
I wasn't all weekend. There's one day where I didn't get to see him.
Touchy-feely Tim Seeley.
Tim Seeley is the author and sometimes artist of Hack/. Pete is in love with it.
He just does good work, and I appreciate that. So sometimes...
You're talking about his comic work or his conversational drinking work? That he spent so much time.
His comics.
Oh, okay, cool.
Anyways,
Can we talk about this conversational drinking work?
Yeah.
I know. Is that weird for you?
No, I think you had a good time.
Thanks.
We looked up at this party, and Pete was in a picture with Kyle Baker in a top hat. Kyle Baker was in a top hat and white glove, and Pete was like...
I think that's a normal reaction.
More of what it was looking over. It was like somebody was like, "Hey, can we get a picture of you too?"
Yeah.
Then it wasn't even like Pete was like, "Can I get a picture with you, Kyle?" Anyway, that's all that.
Yeah, it was.
So Hack/.
Yeah.
Suicide Girls, apparently, I didn't know this before, is a website.
Yeah. I mean,
where you can see...
I don't read comics, but I do troll the internet for tattooed girls who take the tops off.
That's what the site is. Tattooed girls who take their tops off. And so they crossed over. Smartly.
Yeah. I think it's perfect. You know, it's Suicide Girls is this alt kind of cheeky, no pun intended thing, and Hack/ is the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like 70 years old.
Yeah.
Come down.
Charming.
This is fun. This is a fun annual. It's a fun issue. It's a done one story, and I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was really good.
There's one thing at the end we should probably talk about.
What's that?
Which is Cassie Hack, the main character, in order to get in with the Suicide Girls, does a photo shoot with the Suicide Girls. So at the end of the issue, they have...
Oh boy, this could get racy.
Yes.
Casey Hack's photo shoot.
All right, so...
Now that Alex is obsessed with nude comic books,
It was like a 10-year-old.
We have...
10-year-old, this is what the vagina is.
so that was...
Hey, to be fair, not really.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't know. But from what I've heard,
it's in the right place.
It's pretty accurate.
So I was talking to Tim about this issue, and he was saying he wanted to do a crossover because the Suicide Girls had talked to him about doing a crossover issue, and he was kind of didn't want to do it because they wanted him obviously to have a photo shoot with Cassie, but he was kind of worried about if he did have Cassie take her top off, you know, would that upset people? He didn't want to upset the fans or anything like that. So he did it in a way where it wasn't like for the photo shoot, like woohoo! It was more like she had to do it to get to the bad guy.
It made perfect sense.
I'm sure it took a really long meeting to figure that out.
Yes.
How can we get her?
How can we make this make sense in the comic book world? We'll make it up, solve the problem.
Would you say pick this up?
Yeah, it's a great series, great book.
Cool. All right, let's move on. Talk about Superman 678. This is the second issue of James Robinson's run. What do you guys think about this? And also, you want to say something?
I love James Robinson. I love Starman. I say this every day when I wake up in the morning that I love Starman. It's the thing. It's not very good. I don't like it as much. I'm very sad.
Well, and you talked to James Robinson this week.
At the con, yeah, I had to not say that I don't like it.
You guys are so sold out. Everyone you bring up, you're like, when you were drinking with them, it's like you've lost all your journalistic integrity.
How much did we have before?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You had, like on a scale of 1 to 10, you had 1 and you lost it.
Big loss.
Well, we can get back up to a 1.
Totally.
So you were at Comic-Con, I was bartending at the gin mill, that's all I'm saying.
It doesn't, Starman was so good because it was very detail-oriented, very nuanced. This seems a little all over the place. And maybe it's just they're slowly revealing all these things, but it seems like there's a huge backstory about Atlas in this, and I don't know the character, I don't like him. He's a villain.
I was kind of a little disappointed with how they did the flashbacks. It was kind of nice to see the old school work, which was cool. But I just wish they had done it maybe at the end or at the beginning. I just felt like, in between everything that was going on was a little confusing.
It just, I don't have as big of a problem with it. I think, again, it's a fine story. Nothing too spectacular about it. It's just, I think the problem with Atlas is there doesn't seem to be any real conflict set up. You know, it's Atlas, Atlas says, I want to rule the world, but says it in a slightly more complicated way, so it seems like it's supposed to be smart, and that's pretty much it. But it's not bad. I mean, the art's good, the writing is solidly done, but it's not breaking any new ground. It almost feels like he's killing a little bit of time until he gets to, a couple of months from now, they're going to be crossing over Superman, Action Comics, and Supergirl for the next 2 years.
With new Krypton and all, like, their Krypton as a planet is coming back and all this. It does feel like he's treading water until.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, have you been reading this?
First of all, it's DC, buy it.
Excellent.
She just has no patience for him and his little super stories anymore.
Well, she hears a lot of
yeah, it's going to be wearing old a little bit.
I know, but it's just so not in character, I think, for her.
What a bummer. Even Superman gets old, you know?
I know. Superman, you can't figure him doing all these great things coming over here this round.
Yeah, that's true.
It would be a Fortress of Solitude, of course. But
Yeah, exactly. I have to go to the fortress. She's like, again in the solitude.
Are you
Yeah.
You see, wow.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
That's great.
She wouldn't be seen on it. You can read, was it Superman, Batman?
Right.
She's bitchier than Lois.
Well, she's being controlled by some sort of...
Bitch device.
She's kryptonite.
That's actually 4 years from now, they're going to reveal the bitch device in the DC universe, and that's going to explain a lot of it.
Yeah.
retro.
I feel like everything's treading water until the bitch device.
Guys, we have like 1 or 2 women who come to the show every week. Yeah. We can stop saying the word bitch.
It's ask the Superman writer. Start writing about this device.
Yeah, that's good.
Next week is going to be a bunch of suicide girls here, so.
What? Is that true? Anyway, that's a great promise, though.
Yeah, come back next week. There'll be suicide girls.
The more you say it, the more likely it is to come true.
You only have to look into a mirror and say it 3 times until they appear. Right?
I'll try that.
All right, let's talk about Invincible number 51. This is, relatively speaking, a new direction for the series. What do you guys think about it?
Well, I thought it was a lot kind of fast. Like all of a sudden, bam, he's got a new outfit, and his bros in there. Like I don't know. I felt like I don't know. It answered a lot of questions too quickly. I also thought it was very sneaky the way they put like 50 small and then like first issue. Like so someone like.
I wish there was even a little more of that in the book. I actually liked it a lot. It felt like a very good issue of Invincible. They are launching a new direction, relatively speaking, for the series, but I want to see it more like this is an issue a new reader could pick up and know exactly what's going on.
I thought that from the cover.
Yeah.
And then I started reading it, and I'm like, I'm going to read a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
So you never read Invincible?
No.
And so you had no idea what was going on?
No.
Then it did
It
not
kind
work.
of reminded me of the Incredibles a bit. Maybe Flash, but the different Batman.
Yeah.
All the family comics.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what he's trying to do. But again, it's just picking up where the last issue left off, which is totally fine for continuing readers, but not great for new ones.
When superheroes change outfits and they always do this big rigmarole about like all that, I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
You're saying never change out?
No, change outfits, but why go to he has to go to the tailor, and the tailor's like, here's why I'm taking out the knee pads, because you don't need them, because you're indestructible. It's like, yeah, it's not the action of the story. I put on clothes every day. I don't need to see these guys. I do.
I'll believe it when I see it.
You'll believe it when I don't show them.
But if you were to stop wearing your knee pads, I would ask you why.
Yeah, that's a good point.